Hello and welcome to another edition of our Euro Tours trip in the FENIX A320. You join us on the ground here in Stockholm, and it's extremely wintry, as you can see. In fact, very wintry scene here in Stockholm, and we'll be flying the short hop just across the sea into Estonia, Tallinn, where we should arrive in approximately 1 hour's time. So without further ado, let's get into the cockpit and let's get set up. So remember, you can follow these flows in the fly-by-wire A320 or the FENIX. I'm not saying this is how they do it in the real life, but it just works for me. So battery 1, battery 2, external power. Just going to put some light on. Let's get our beacon on. Let's turn off all white lights. Remember, A320, turn off all white lights. Bit of heat into the cargo hold. Woo. Seatbelt signs. Arm the doors. And let's go to top left. Our ideas. And to align our ideas, it's left, right, middle to nav in that order. So left, right, middle. And that will now start to align the ideas, which lets the aircraft know exactly where it is on the ground at any one point. Without that, you're going to struggle for your navigation. So APU, let's turn the master on, and let's power up the auxiliary power unit, which, as we know, is the small engine at the back. MCDU, APTUG, AOC menu, flight init. Let's pull in our data. Now I have set up a Simbri flight plan. However, that Simbri flight plan means we've got to be off the ground in 10 minutes, which I can't see happening. So init request, and we will have a little bit of data to complete here. There we go. So flight number, Speedbird, British Airways, 74 Bravo. Cost index today is 05. Our flight level today is 290. And the two little white arrows at the top right of the screen mean there's more. There's another page. So if we hit the right arrow, it's going to take us to the other page. And this is where we put in our zero fuel weight. 59. I'm going to put 59.4 / and we'll fill in the centre of gravity after. Block fuel today is, let's go 5.3. Okay. Now flight planning. Our departure today is the BABAP 3 Romeo. So departure 08. BABAP 3 Romeo. The BABAP 3 Lima is actually exactly the same, but BABAP 3 Romeo. Insert. There's that one done. What tends to happen coming out of our lander is, as you start on your SID, you'll be advised to climb initially to 5,000 feet, and then they'll give you probably 18,000 feet. As you pass through 6,000, you're likely to get a direct to NISIX. Just seems to be standard operating procedure on a departure out of Stockholm. So just to be aware of that if you're on BATSIM. So our arrival, and again we're coming in ILS 08, and we're coming in on the OSMUR 1 kilo departure. OSMUR 1 kilo, click that, and insert. That's all of our waypoints done. No discontinuities, looking good. Just leave the performance page there. We will come back to this in a second. Right, now we're going to go into our electronic flight bag. Let's just bring in the flight data from SimBrief. So this is already linked, so tap and import from SimBrief. It's going to tell us we've only got 7 minutes. I knew that would. Mass and balance. Well, we're going to be late because we're going to load the aircraft in. Fast time 9 minutes. Leave that, and let's go back to ground services. Doors open. Let's bring the jetway. You'll hear the jetway coming in. Okay, so let's go to our departure performance page. Just there's our jetway. Now I do have GSX, but we're not using it today. Had a few problems with it, so I just need to just have a look and possibly reload it in. It's going to go wet. Let's sync the load sheet, sync the weather. Then we hit calculate. It's just calculating. What's really important here is we take a note of our QNH. Our QNH for today is 1014, and then we need to write all of this detail down. So it's saying flaps 1 / down 0.3, 64 degrees, engine out 1110, sorry, V1 126, rotate speed 140, V2 speed 141. Remember, V2 is the speed at which we cannot abort the takeoff. Let's go back in here. Right, so it's a flaps 1 takeoff today. 1 down 0.3. Flexed temp is, I wrote that down, 64. It's close in terms of the calculations, but let's put the accurate one. Oops. Transition altitude is completed for us. We will double check that with the charts in a second. So V1 126, rotate 140, and V2 141. Okay, so that's that page done. We'll go back to init because we're not ready yet to put in our zero fuel weight, but we will in a second. Now I just want to come up to the pedestal. Let's get some lights on just in case it gets a bit dark on the way. I'm not expecting it to. We're not an ATC, we'll just squawk 5236 for today. Alright, let's make sure predicted wind shear is on. Lock the door. We'll sort all of our flaps and everything out when we're ready to go. Not quite yet. And our QNH is already set, 1013. Now our altitude, we're going to set our cruise altitude today, so which is 290. Let's go back in here, 290. Oops, 43,000, I don't think so. 290. Set. Good. Flight directors are on. It's looking good. So we're almost ready to go. Now let's come up the top. Now the APU, if we come out the back, you can hear the APU's working, and actually you can see the exhaust fumes coming out. So we can turn off the ground power and disconnect. So turn off the ground power. Sorry. And then let's go back in here, go to ground services. Let's remove the chocks, remove the GPU, and connect the tug ready for a start. And I think we're almost there. Well, almost. It's taken the... we're still loading the aircraft, even though the jetway's gone, but never mind. So we'll just wait for that to finish. Just check everything else. We are going to get a bit of a ticking off. I would imagine we'll get a company message at some point just to say why you're late. There's our first load sheet. Let's accept that. And the second one's still to come. Right. Almost ready. Just wait. You have to excuse me, I've got a bit of a cold today, so I sound all bunged up. And there we are, ready to go. So our taxiway is quite straightforward today. Straight up, over and away. So we'll just finish the loading, and what I'm going to do, just going to bring in Navigraph. So here you go, straight out of ESSA, turn round, BABAP, and then straight into Tallinn. Well, the chances are we're going to miss all of this corner off. We're going to get a direct to NISIX. So I intend to, as we get to SA416, I will do a direct to NISIX just to miss the corner off. Oops. And there is our departure, straight out in front, and then we take a right turn to BABAP before heading off. Well, actually what we're going to do is cut off the corner and straight over, and then our arrival is quite straightforward. Into OSMUR, we come in and we've got to be at 2,200 feet by TN901, Tallinn 901, and we make a right turn then to FENIX before our final approach into runway 08. Quite straightforward. In fact, if I just quickly show you, there you go, there is our arrival. T901, FENIX, capture the glide slope at 6.2 miles, and then straight in to Tallinn, runway 08. And our decision altitude today is 331 feet, as you can see there. Missed approach, climb tracker 081, which is straight ahead to 2,200 feet, and then contact Tallinn radar, which of course we won't do today. We're not VATSIM, there is no coverage, I haven't looked. And we'll make our way back round and try again. Okay, let's check where we're up to with the loading. Almost there, 148, 161 planned, so just not many more to go. Get our initiation page ready, and then we can start our pushback and engine start. It's very quiet at the airport today. And if you've got the fly-by-wire installer, if you click the fly-by-wire installer, actually click the injector, just going to start injecting. It's interesting, I have updated it and it's working really well at the moment. What you'll find all of a sudden is a lot of aircraft, so there we go, SAS suddenly appeared. I'm not sure what that one is over there, but aircraft suddenly are being injected in and it looks so much more realistic. I should have done that at the start. Right, boarding's complete. 31.2. Let's go back into the MCDU. / 31.2. And that's it. We're good to go. Go to the top panel. APU bleed on. I am going to put the anti-ice on because it is blooming cold. Let's turn on the strobe because we're about to push back. Everything's set. Okay, I think we're all right here, you know. So, what I'm going to do is now go to ground services. I'm going to take off the parking brake, which I've now done. I'm going to start pushback. And while we're doing that, let's start the engine. So, engine 2. And that's starting nicely, so we'll just keep an eye on where we are on the pushback. Yeah, we're okay, making good way back now. Oh, it's wintry, isn't it? Good engine start, you hear the engines kicking in. It's getting very... just coming down as the line there. difficult to see. Turning nicely, getting ready to stop the pushback. Almost perfect. And let's stop. Push back now. Set the parking brake. Disconnect the tug. Back down, and let's start engine number 1. Now we're on a flaps 1, so let's get our flaps ready. Arm our ground spoilers, and our auto brake we're going to set to max, which we've done. Come up to the lights, let's turn on the lights, get those ready. Some seat belts, that would have been useful, wouldn't it? Turn the seat belts on before we started, never mind. Got a habit of forgetting those. Start our chrono. Good engine start. So ignition off. Let's go back to the top. Turn off our APU bleed and turn off our APU, no longer needed. I think we're good to go. I think we're all good to go. Parking brake off, just give it a little bit of power. And we should start moving. Here we go. As you can see, we're going to make our way straight up, hold at X-ray 2 for runway 08. Just check left, check right, nothing, so we're okay there. Straight over, and we're going to hang a right here. Here we go. We should get the check in a second, which we haven't got yet, which is interesting. We'll hold at X-ray 2. Find out what's going on. Hold here. Runway 08. Flaps 1. Everything's normal. Got all green, all no blue. Icy ice, landing lights. So what we need to do now is just go back at the top. Let's turn our landing lights on. There we go. Ready to go. I'm going to ignore that company message because I know what it is. You're late. Okay, and Tallinn, here we come. We're going straight off. Just checked the flight radar 24. There isn't any aircraft around us at the moment. We are okay. We're going to go straight off here today. Here we go. 100 knots, check. B1. Ooh, that's bumpy. Blimey. What was that? Feet. Rotate. It's a bit windy as well. Gear up. Positive climb. Autopilot 1. Flaps up. Let's have a clean up. Auto brake off. Making our way steadily now. Once we get through 6,000 feet, we'll do our direct. Speed brake is now disarmed. And we're now tidy up after. Whee! There we go. So currently flight level 170, headed for 290. Transition altitude is 5,000 feet, so we will go to standard at that point. But just keeping our eye on our altitude. Climbing steadily. Nice climb rate. Coming through the clouds. It's a good job we had the anti-ice on. We will turn those off in a second. Just keeping our eye for that 6,000 feet, and then we'll go direct to NISIX. Yeah, where do you think we should go next? So obviously we're going to be in Tallinn. Where from Tallinn? Let us know in the comments. And don't forget, like and subscribe and support the channel. Let us know what what we're doing is what you want, and if you want to see any other tutorials, let us know. And who knows, we may be able to put some of those together for you. Right level, what are we on? 040 now. Climbing steadily. It's a very, very short climb, and then you hit top of climb, and then about 10 miles later, top of descent. It's a very short hop. Here we go. So now goes pull down to standard. Coming through now, 6,000 feet almost. So let's go back into the MCDU. So the way you could do it direct is go to the DIR button. There you go, up or down, and as you can see, NISIX. So if I click the line key next to NISIX and then go direct to insert, if I click that, that's it. I'm now going straight to NISIX, and you can see the aircraft is now turning for NISIX. Just cuts off the corner. How does that look? Well, I shall show you on the plan. Let's bring the plan in. So rather than have to do this route here, what I'm actually doing is going to go straight over, cut the corner off, cut the corner leg, more efficient and quicker. If you are on VATSIM, you cannot do that unless air traffic control give you permission to do so. So we're not actually following the full standard instrument departure today. Beautiful views out over Sweden and Stockholm over to the right. Can't see much today because of the cloud. That's coming through the cloud. Once we get by 10,000 feet, we'll turn the lights off and the seatbelt signs off. There we go, 10,000 feet. Let's go up to the overhead. Turn the anti-ice off now. Oops. Seatbelt signs, wind off, runway turn off, landing lights off, and nose light off. Got a company message, let's just go and clear that. So go into the MCDU, APTUG, OC menu, receive messages. It's a load sheet actually, it's not a late one, so let's just accept that and return. There'll be more coming in a second, I'm sure. We'll get our wrist slapped. And then this is our performance page. Now, we would not normally do this till you're in the cruise. However, this is such a short flight, we're going to actually look at completing this. If you come into your electronic flight bag, arrival performance, that's our airport. Runway we know is 08. We're going to go good to medium because there is snow on the ground. I'm going to apply the METAR, which is automatically brought in. It's -9 degrees. So wind in Tallinn is 140 degrees at 4 knots. -9 degrees. And at the minute it's 1015 hectopascals, 1015, which we will have to check before we come in, just to make sure that that hasn't changed. Going to go medium auto brake, and our landing weight, calculated this earlier, 62.6. 62, this is from the flight plan. 62.6 tons, plenty of runway space. Come back into the MCDU. QNH we know is 1015. We can check this and change it, that's not a problem. Temperature, it's cold, it's -5 degrees in Tallinn today. No, it's not, it's -9. 140 at 4 knots, 144. Transition altitude is done for us. Now, radio, remember when I showed you the charts earlier, if we just bring the chart back. So our transition altitude on the chart is 5,000 feet. And our straight in landing, an ILS approach, Cat A, B or C is 330 feet. Not the Cat D is 331 feet. We're actually a Cat C, so we're going to go 330 feet today. So that goes in the radio readout, and I'll explain what that does in a second. So as you're coming into land, if you cannot see the runway by 330 feet, you're going to have to go around, or it's an auto land if you've got permission. You'll hear the aircraft call out 100 above. That means you're at 100 feet above this level. It's a warning that that minimums is coming up. So you'll hear that at 430 feet. You'll then hear a call out of minimums, and that's at 330 feet. That's your decision. Do you continue, or are you going around? Really important. But we'll look at that in a bit more detail the closer we get. Everything's looking clean here. Just going through flight level 193, so about 19,300 feet for 29,000 feet still. Oof, bit of turbulence. We have got a bit of a crosswind if you look. So it's more of a tailwind, but it is coming across us ever so slightly. 255 degrees. From 255 degrees it's 15 knots. And then we've got our track and our heading almost aligned. We're just compensating slightly for this 15 knot tailwind that's just off to the side. So we're actually aimed just to the right of our track. Climbing nicely, flight level 218 for 290. And an open climb, speed's good, happy with that. That's good. Let's have a look outside. I love that, the contrails. Absolutely love it. Looks phenomenal. There's the sea, straight out over the sea. The islands. I can't see any other aircraft currently. But there will be something on the ground in Tallinn, I believe. I've just looked at flight radar 24. I'm going to have another look, but I'm pretty certain. Oh no, what's happened there? Apologies if you lost sound there, I'm not quite sure what happened. Anyway. Flight radar, let's have a look, see what we've got on the ground in Tallinn. Tallinn Lennart Meri Airport. So, arrivals, we're due on the ground. Probably about 11:30, so 1:30 local time. 20, yeah, there's plenty. There'll be a bit of movement. There's some LOT, Baltic, SAS, Finnair. Their arrivals and departing. Well, not so many departures, so we should probably just see some planes coming into land, and there should be plenty on the ground. Let's wait and see. So there's top of climb coming in there now. Let's just try. I've actually got up higher. Sorry, to top of climb quicker than I expected. So the blue arrow that you see there, up arrow, that's when we'll reach top of climb, which will be just before NISIX. And then we'll continue our cruise, and what we should see, and there is top of descent. So it's only about, I'd say by the time that's come down, probably about 55 miles away. And that's our descent. Now remember, we said we're descending to flight level 022, which is 2,200 feet. Just put that back. So, yeah, it's a good time to get to the top of the climb. Happy with that. All smooth, profile good. No warnings on the ECAM, fuel is good, and we've now reached the top of climb, 29,000 feet, flight level 290. Slight left turn, that's all good. And we're now at NISIX. So what we've done is we've come out, straight out from the airport, and then just cut all of that corner off, and we're making a slight left turn to get us onto our correct path, where we'll be going to OSMUR, which is the start of our arrival. So it won't be too long, and we'll be starting our descent into Tallinn. It is a very, very short hop, so I'm just going to start by programming in here. Ooh, not that low. 2,200. I won't do anything with it, and the aircraft won't descend until I tell it to. So until we see that top of descent come in, until we're over the top of descent, we just leave it, and it won't actually change the altitude that we're currently at. And as ever, it's always full flaps on landing, and we'll be on the ILS runway 08. And this is just the Asobo modelled Tallinn. It isn't any payware, so it does lack a few features, but it is the next stage of our Euros tour. Remember, 44 countries plus 7 dependencies. So Faroe Islands, Jersey, Gibraltar, etc. Isle of Man, 4 dependencies actually, I believe. And if a country doesn't have its own airport, so for example Monaco is serviced by Nice Côte d'Azur, that's where we'll be going. But if you've got any thoughts on where we should fly to next on our Euro tour, let us know. Drop us a message in the comments below and we'll see if we can get that done on the next leg of our trip. And you can support the channel. It really does help us. It keeps us going, gets the word out, shares the word. If you could just hit that like and subscribe button, please. Spread that word out. More followers, and we're going to start to do some lives as well, so you can get involved. If you subscribe, you can keep up to date with all of the latest news and what we're up to. Beautiful day. Not much to see, unfortunately, because we are just over the sea, but it is a beautiful day. Good headway. M851 airway. M851, the Mike 851 airway. And just a shout out to our latest subscribers, a big thank you for that. H Lightsphere, Ray Tran, Enrique Alonso and Mula Miggs. Thank you very much. They hit the like and they hit the subscribe button. Much appreciated. So it's a nice, comfortable ride, really. It's only a short hop. As I say, flight time of around about 40 minutes. Air time, probably about an hour and 10, gate to gate. We're all prepped up, ready to go. It looks like we're all set. I'm just going to go back into the electronic flight bag and let's just double check the Q&H. Let's get the weather for Tallinn, because we're now airborne. Yes, we know, arrival. Let's refresh that. So this was on the 11th at 0550, so that was this morning, so it hasn't been updated since this morning. But have a look at this, QNH 1014. When on our performance page, our arrival performance, let's get the 1015. So I think we'll take this because it, oh no, hold on. Yes, that's at 1050, so this is a more up to date. So we're going to use this, and no change, 1015, wind 140 at 4 knots. Weather, it's -9 degrees, that's cold, isn't it? Actually, it was cold here in the UK last night. Blimey, woke up this morning to a real heavy frost, and looking outside, there's frost everywhere and a bit of a fog. ILS 08, flight transition level 5,000 feet, all good. And there's our top of descent just coming into view there, look. That white down arrow, that's the top of descent. So at that point, we've got to start descending. Now, if you're on VATSIM, ATC, you can't descend without permission. Now, normally, they will give you an altitude to descend to, but if they haven't and you get to this point, just give them a call up and just ask for permission to start your descent. They're normally pretty good, I have to say. I don't normally forget. Let's just go 10 miles. There we go. I'm going to put the constraints on because as we come down there are some constraints, and what you can see just coming ahead of us is the Estonian coastline, which looks closer than it actually is. If you look on the charts, there's the coastline. We're still quite a way off, so it looks a lot closer than it actually is. Always does in the aircraft when you're up high. It gives you a false sense of depth. So just watching that descent line come down, and we can, here we go, it's coming down, it's coming down, it's coming down. Okay, we can start our descent. Just push the button and you'll notice that the nose just tips down, and we start our open descent, aiming for 2,200 feet. If we need to lose a little bit of altitude at OSMUR, there is a hold which we can enter. It's a left hold, maximum of 280 knots. And it looks like minimum altitude of 10,000 feet. So it just helps us lose a little bit of altitude if we need to, but we're looking okay at the moment. The profile's good, green dot. So on our descent, green dot in the box shows that we're on a good descent profile. If it drops, then we may have to change the speed, or increases, we may have to change our descent profile, our speed of descent. But at the moment, it's in the middle of the box, that's what we're after. So we should capture the glide slope at 2,200 feet, no problems at all, just after Venox. But you do have to keep your eye on it, so it's just dropping slightly now. Interesting. Coming off the profile a little bit. Needs more drag, so I'm just going to put what I've done. Whoop. There you go. Just put the air brakes out a little bit. Just needed a bit more drag. It flashed up there. Now that what that does is, look, it brings the green dot back in. I can slowly bring the speed brakes. There we go. So just don't want to slow down too much. Profile back good again. Ground spoilers don't want to arm yet, so yeah, spoilers just slowed us down enough just to bring us back on the profile. Put those away, retracted the spoilers. As you can see, we're green dot is still hovering in and out of the boxes, but we should be okay. We're below the level of profile. It's better to be there or thereabouts. We've got VNAV anyway, so we're not going to break any constraints. Looking good. An island there. So this is the coastline of Estonia, and our airport is over here somewhere, just in this thick cloud. That's where the airport is. It should be on the ground in probably about 20 minutes, 20-25 minutes, something like that. Good descent profile. Let's have a look. Love this aircraft. Absolutely love the FENIX A320 in the British Airways livery. There's something special about it. And there's Estonia. Right. More drag required. Let's go full on the spoilers. You see, put the spoilers out. Spoilers out, just to slow us down a bit. We've gone way off the profile. Let's bring that profile back in. You see down here, look, spoilers are full. I'm just a bit concerned about that height. We just got to slow us down a little bit just to bring us back onto that profile. That's what happens when you pop out of the cockpit for a minute. And all that does, it just creates a little bit of drag, just slows the aircraft down a little bit and just starts to slow the speed of the air going across the wings. And there we go, back on profile. So I'm going to start to retract the spoilers. I'm going to keep my eye on that green dot because if I need to, I will just keep adding more drag. It's because we've got that tailwind that's pushing us along. We're now coming on to the arrival route. OSMUR here, look. I'm quite happy with the profile. I'm going to make our way around the OSMUR 1 kilo arrival to Tallinn 901 before making a right turn to FENIX, and on our final approach, FENIX at 6.2 miles out will capture the glide slope and it will bring us in. At 901, what we'll do is we'll enter the approach phase into the MCDU. Right, what I will do, I'm just going to put the landing system on ready. It's early, but it's fine. So the airport is over here somewhere. In this cloud, just below the cloud cover. So as we come, we'll start to straighten out. Looks good. Come up and then we'll turn right, and the airport, yeah, we'll find it over here somewhere. Green dot's good, profile's good. Coming down well, actually. Better than I thought as we started that. So the next waypoint, we've got to be above 5,000 feet, which we're going to quite easily be. The next two, we've got to be above 2,200 at or above, and then that's when we'll be capturing the ILS. So we've just got to make sure by FENIX that we hit that 2,200 feet. And then we'll start to be ready for coming in to land on runway 08 in Tallinn. Very cold Tallinn, -9 at this moment in time. Nice you. I think it was about -5, -6 here last night, so it's not too far off. Difference being is, I don't know where you are, we didn't get the snow. Again, that green dot's just coming below. I'm just going to give a bit more drag just so I can get us back on. There we go. There we go. Coming down nicely, flight level 114. Getting ready, not too far now. 10,000 feet, we can come back up. Let's put our wrong one. Seatbelt silent on. All of our lights. And that's it. Tell you what I'm going to do. Let's activate the approach phase because we're on the star. Coming down nicely now, 9,900 feet, flight level 098. 5 miles away from Tallinn 700 waypoint. There's 24 nautical miles to go to the next point. Coming down nicely, nice and steady does it. Right, okay. It's a very, very sunny, bright day, but a very cold, bitter day in Tallinn. So that's a short hop, just from Stockholm, Sweden, over there somewhere, into Tallinn. I'm deliberately leaving Finland for the time being because obviously the Father Christmas trip to Rovaniemi, we will do that probably over Christmas. We're hoping to do a couple of lives and a couple more recordings, so we'll leave that till Christmas period. And yeah, we're going to hit Finland, go and see Santa. Okay, flight level 69069. Next waypoint coming up, which we've got to be above 2,200 feet. Green dot is good. And then we're going to start our turn. Just hope we get there and carry. I had a bit of a problem. I have done this flight 3 times now. There was an issue with the recording, but the last 2 times I did it, there was a problem capturing the ILS. So I'm kind of hoping this time we can capture the ILS without a vent, without me having to intervene and hand fly it. It's coming down nicely, look, and come off standard now. We need to be 1015 hectopascals. There we go. 1015. There is our magenta diamond for height, and as we turn, we see the bottom one come and line up in the middle. Profile's good. 4,300 feet. 4,200. I'm not at Vemox yet. Looking okay to me. I'm going to hit the approach phase, and then we can start to slow down. Here we go, coming down, look, coming down. Going to make a slight right turn in a second. There we go. Flaps 1. Medium speed brake. Ground spoilers armed. We're good to go. Slowing down nicely, right ahead of us. You can't see it for the cloud. That is the airport. Good profile still. I think we're going to be alright. It's coming down. Baltic Sea over to the left. Icy. I'm not sure how realistic that is. Never been. Anybody been to Tallinn? Let me know in the comments. Let me know how you got on. Always wanted to visit. Flaps 2. I'm probably going to get an overspeed because I've done that slightly too quickly, but never mind. See the nose going down. There's Tallinn in front of us, starting to descend now.
2,500.
Yeah. We're going to be absolutely fine to capture this ILS. Coming down now, we're not at 6.2 yet. 180 knots. Flaps 3. And we've captured the ILS. There we go. It's going to start bringing us down. Oh, we're capturing it. We haven't caught it just yet. Full flaps. Here we go. And there's the airport just coming into sight there, look, which is good. I was starting to get a little bit worried. We have got a hefty crosswind. You can see we're heading is to the right of our track, so there is a bit of a hefty crosswind, but captured the ILS, now bringing us down nicely. See that on our primary flight display, the PFD, gen to diamonds, and here we come down. Should start to hear in a second. 100 above. Landing gear down. There he goes. Cabin crew, prepare for landing. All green on the landing gear, ECAM all green, no blue. We're doing okay, we're going in. And there's the runway in sight, so we're not going to have too much of an issue. It is a bit misty, but we're okay, we're alright. The other issue I had coming into land, on my other 3 goes at this, was came off the runway at the end. Forgot to brake. So in some ways I'm glad those recordings didn't work out. There's the city of Tallinn. We're actually flying over a lake. This is a frozen lake we're now flying over. And right at the end of the runway. There's the runway 2 red, 2 white.
500. 100 above.
100 above, get ready. Minimums coming up.
Minimum.
Continue. See the runway. We're going to go for it. Coming in nicely. Very nicely.
100. 50. 30. 20. Retard.
And we're down. Bit hard though. I've had some really hard landings recently. Okay, welcome to Tallinn. So we're just going to make our way down to the runway to Foxtrot. Once we get to Foxtrot, we'll come off the runway and we'll have a clean up. It's very cold, snowy and horrible. Ugh. There we go. Yeah, it was a bit of a Ryanair landing, that one, wasn't it? But never mind, we're down safe. We are down safe. Coming off shortly, just coming down the runway, coming off, and we'll come off here at Foxtrot, make our way back down Alpha on ourselves to the terminal building. So here we go, you can see Foxtrot just coming up on our left, just here. Go. Just mind we don't slide. We'll vacate the runway, get onto Alpha, and then we shall have a clean up. There we go. Okay, so let's just have brakes on very quickly. Turn off the auto brake. Disarm the ground spoilers. Flaps can go to 2 for a second, then we'll put them up. You only move in increments of 2. Turn off runway lights. Turn off running lights. Landing lights can come off. Nose lights. Oh, I always have trouble with these. Oh, you know what? Forget it. I'm not even going to worry. Unless I can do it this way. Haha, look at that. Crazy. Okay. And we can now flaps fully retract. Alright, here we go. We can make our way down the runway. Let's see if we've got anything else in the airport. There should be a few aircraft in. It's not that busy, I have to say. I'm not sure what the daily traffic is like into Tallinn, if I'm honest. I'm not a clue. So that's our next leg over with. We are now in Tallinn, in Estonia. So we've gone from England to Scotland, Scotland to Iceland, Iceland to the Faroe Islands, Faroe Islands to Norway, Norway to Sweden, and Sweden to Estonia. Where next? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget, hit that like and subscribe button and keep up to date with all that we're doing and where we are on our latest trips. It supports the channel and gives us a bit of encouragement to keep going. And if there's anything you would like to see, if there's any other tutorials, please let us know, and we'll gladly put some together for you. Right, let's get this A320 parked up. Some movement down the end there, but it looks like it's vehicles. So okay, so we're just making our way down Alpha. There you go, down Alpha, all the way to the terminal. The terminal building's up this end, and there you can see terminal building. We'll try and aim for Mike 4, Mike 6. Making good progress. It's good. And that's a nice short flight, nice short hop from Stockholm. Never visited Stockholm. I've been to Malmo, but not Stockholm. I would like to. It's quite a long taxiway. The terminal's all at one end. It's alright for taking off, I suppose, from 08. Very, very wintry, isn't it? Plenty of fuel on board. We've probably got enough to go back if we wanted to. Although having said that, I think it's such a long taxi, it probably needed a bit more. Looks like we've got a Ryanair in. Is that Ryanair? Yeah, a couple of Ryanair by the look of that. I think Tallinn is one of its bases, but it's also, if you look to the right, you can see the military aircraft. It's obviously a military air base as well. A lot of the airports in the old Eastern European countries are also military bases as well. Got the fire truck there. Yeah. Obviously heard I was coming in to land. I'm going to come over here because I know from previous experience that the blue lights are actually on the taxiway. So I'm going to taxi down this way instead, just to be safe. And there's to Ryanair, look. Boeing 737s, we're of course in the A320. There's another Ryanair. Just making our way to the terminal. I think we'll go in after this turboprop. Next one. Let's do the next one, shall we? This one here, I think is us. I say that, it's the one we're going to have. FENIX has done it again, look, that oversteer every time. No idea why it does that. And welcome to Tallinn. Should be us. Okay, parking brake set. Beacon off. Seatbelt sign off. Should have started the APU really. Let's start the APU up. And that'll give us our auxiliary power. Okay, so that was it. That's another trip on our Euros tour. Where we're going to go next, let us know in the comments. And don't forget, hit that like and subscribe button. Till next time, goodbye.